Hello everyone, my name is Amin and today I'll be talking about the project that I had for Socio-me-ology project of this course. Um, I tried to be a little bit creative and made a short clip, like a music video about racism and some of the thoughts from the Baha'i books um, that my parents originally believe in, and I just want to share with you in a little bit interesting format with the music and also some of my own thoughts. So I chose racism topic for this project because since the day I moved to Canada, I saw a lot of problems associated with racism here. And it's not the first time that I'm living in a multicultural environment because I'm originally from Iran, and between all the Middle Eastern and Asian countries in Asia, Iran I would say is the most diverse country. When you move to the south, there are provinces that are mainly Arab. They either have Arabic ethnicity or background, or they are Iranians who are kind of used to Arabic culture and then influenced by Arabic culture. And same thing when you move to the northern provinces, you see a lot of provinces that have been influenced by Turkish culture. My parents are basically from one of those provinces that have been influenced by Turkish culture. So this diversity is not something new to me, but in Iran, I've never seen a problem between different cultures in a country. So when I moved here, I saw so many different cultures. So it wasn't really hard for me to adapt myself to such a place or such an environment. But I saw that there is a lot of problems and so many negative thoughts between these different ethnicity and groups. I was kind of interesting to know like why racism still exists. Racism was something that had started basically hundreds of years ago when the first settlers in North America brought up Africans here and used them as slave, and kind of used that racism thoughts as an excuse for them to benefit from those people. Um, but the racism that we have today and the racism that we see today is completely different with that racism. That racism was only for settlers' benefit. But that racism fortunately ended up many years ago, and what we see today is kind of the side effect of what happened in those days. One of the main reasons that people have racism thoughts, for example, against African Americans, is because there's so many criminal activities or so many crimes related to groups that are mainly African American, and there's so many poor neighborhoods that these criminal activities have higher rate in, and people just look at this perspective and judge the ethnicity based on what they see in today's world, but they kind of don't have that understanding that the reason that um, most of these poor neighborhoods in the bigger cities are occupied by African Americans is, again, since day one that they moved, they got brought to North America. They were not having the higher life standards, and these kind of continued and followed up to these days. And people kind of look at them as a threat for them because, again, they're scared of like all the shootings and all those stuff that happens, and that becomes an excuse for them to judge the whole group ethnicity based on what is going on right now in the world. Or, for example, there are so many racism thoughts against Muslims just because in Middle East there are some Muslim groups, terrorist groups that are in the, I would say, the center of the news and center of attention nowadays, and they kind of judge them because that's what they see in the news, and they look at their presence in their society as a threat. So it was kind of interesting for me to see how racism is different nowadays with 100 years ago, and um, we're basically, I don't have that much information and I don't have that much experience to come up with a solution, but I just kind of wanted to uh, share my own thoughts about uh, the difference between humans and their unity, which I showed in the short clip that I posted for you guys. And also, I wanted to tell my own ideas why I don't want to, why I, it's better to say why I disagree with racism um, in my paper, and kind of, yeah, just want to share my thoughts. I would say the main reason was just want to talk a little bit and reflect on the differences between the racism that we're dealing today and the racism that happened uh, many years ago. So I hope you enjoy the clip that I made, and I hope you can read through the paper and share me your thoughts and let me know if you have a different thought or if you want to add anything. I appreciate it and wish you good luck.